It is time for Let's Play and Chat. My buddy Blake is going to come out here and join me, and we are going to be playing a game called Wulverblade. We were thinking about doing something else, but I just checked it out, and it was too complicated. I was just not going to be able to figure it out. You know the deal with Let's Play and Chat. It is a 15 minutes on the clock-ish, and you guys ask us questions, throw us some comments or whatever, and we'll do our best to answer them. And we're also starting to post the archive of these Let's Play and Chat segments. So if you've got comments or things that you want to put into, underneath in the comments below, do that. We're reading all of this stuff, and it becomes part of the conversation. But let's take a look at Wulverblade. I'm going to turn the music off first, so you can hear me a little bit better. And let's go into the campaign. I've heard that this is a very bloody experience, and I'm looking forward to checking this out a little bit. Oh, the cursor's on the screen. Okay, cool. So there we go. Let's take a look at Wulverblade. First thing, I think it's kind of like a hack and slash, final fight type experience, but we're Viking warriors. So I'll be the little guy with the sword and the shield. Let's go.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, let's do this. Blake is here.
I've never heard of this game, Vic.
Yeah, it's an indie title, one of the nindies on this machine, and it's got a different kind of art style. I think a little bit Flash game oriented, sort of like Mark of the Ninja, right. Like the Clay Entertainment type guys.
Which we mentioned earlier in the show.
Yeah, I'd like to do games like that. Very popular with smaller teams and developers that are building cool concepts that they don't have the team size or the budget to build massive 3D things for us. Probably developed with Unity, because I think Unity and the Flash art work really well together. But super cool, fascinating discussions talking with people that are on the inside of all of these industries that I love, and I think many of you love out there. Hopefully you do if you're watching EP today. So I'm going to skip the story. I don't quite know what's happening in the story.
The story's not important.
I won't recount it to you, but let's go see what the combat is like in this game, and if there's any comments or questions from before.
Yeah, I wrote some of them down because I saw some good ones.
Okay.
And I didn't want to forget them. So the first one I wrote down is from Clayton Blair.
Oh, okay. How's it going, Clayton?
Hi, Clayton. Wants to know book and toy store recommendations in the Vancouver area.
Oh, you have to go to Toy Traders. It's in Langley. It's my favorite toy store in the Vancouver, in the Lower Mainland. It's massive, and it has some of the best setups and displays that you'll have ever seen in any toy store anywhere. We've shot in there many times, and it's fantastic. Really love that store.
Where specifically is it, Vic?
It's in Langley, which is, a good 45 minutes from downtown, but it's worth the trip. You are not going to forget your time at Toy Traders for toys. There's also, some great comic stores, Tasmania Comics on Hastings, and just before you get into Burnaby is really cool. The Eternal Golden Age Collectibles downtown Vancouver is great. If you're on the west side, I love the comic shop. I grew up at the comic shop. And in terms of bookstores, we've got it's like the big bookstores, like Chapters and stuff.
If you want used bookstores, there's an awesome used bookstore on Richards Street called McLean's Books.
Okay.
And if you want not comics but just regular books, that's the place to go.
Yeah.
It's called McLean's Books. It's on Richards near Waterfront.
Yeah, but definitely try to make the journey out to Toy Traders. You will not be disappointed.
Okay, I have a question from the Wren.
Okay.
I was asking about because we mentioned the Atari box earlier.
Yes.
Atari hasn't really said this, but the Wren wants to know: is it going to play new games like Flash-based kind of Ouya type new games, or new games like AAA kind of new games?
I think it's going to be an indie type console, but it won't be. The biggest problem with Ouya is that they tied themselves to Android and to the mobile kind of thing, and they did it, I think, when the fatigue started to set in with the people that would give a crap to buy a machine like that, people like me. And I don't mean to dog mobile, because there's still lots of good mobile games. I'm actually playing a great one from HAL Labs, the people that make us the Kirby games, and Box Boy. There's a new It's called Part-Time UFO, and it's really, really cool. You pay for it, and there's no DLC or anything. I think you just pay once, and then you can work your way through the game. I'll probably try to get a review together for you guys, but there are good titles out there. I mentioned Grid earlier in the show, but Atari can't make that mistake. They can't tie it to mobile stuff. It's got to be to you know, in the Nindy sphere and the Steam sort of indie stuff. There's great indie stuff on the PlayStation and the Xbox, but they also have to come out with their own unique relationships and their own unique experiences that you can't get anywhere else. Otherwise, this thing's going to die on the vine.
But do you think it's going to play like, you know, FIFA 18 or
No.
Battlefront 2 type games?
Absolutely not.
Right.
I mean, it could probably if the developers wanted to build to the specs, but it won't have the architecture that's exactly the same as anything else. It can't. Right. And so that becomes an investment either from Atari to bring people over to their machine, or it's too much of a risk for publishers out there at this stage. But if people really, you know, go crazy for it, all bets are off. I think that's highly unlikely. You know, I'm excited because I dig cool new hardware and I have a fondness for Atari, but I don't think that's everybody.
I have a comment here from CL Magnus.
Yes.
It says, "Hey Vic, I've been following your work since I came to Canada 14 years ago. Thank you for the great work."
Oh, dude, thank you. That's very, very kind. Where did you come from in the world that you came to Canada 14 years ago?
Magnus, that's maybe Northern Europe somewhere?
Could be, yeah.
Okay. If you guys have any comments, just text them and I'll relay them to Vic.
This is sweet.
Did we say the URL for Jules' game?
No, I think we didn't. Maybe we can type it in, but
the game he was talking about at the end is Chicken Wiggle. What is it called? Chicken Wiggle Workshop.
Yeah,
for the
Chicken.
Switch.
I think if you Google Chicken Wiggle and Kickstarter, you'll find it.
Yeah.
And you should follow Jules if you're a fan of EP and you're a fan of people that are into this stuff and generally have a lot of great insight and positivity about the medium that is video games. I think you'll enjoy Jules's commentary and his tweets and his work, quite frankly.
Okay, I have a really big one here.
Okay.
It's from Jordan Cunningham.
Yes.
Question: Hey, what's your favorite pizza place in Vancouver?
I love pizza, but I don't eat it too often because too much pizza, I've discovered. And I don't know if anybody else knows this. Too much pizza
It makes you fat.
Yeah, it's not too great for you. and especially if you've got a sedentary lifestyle where you're sitting for hours at a time playing video games or watching movies, can't really eat too much pizza. But there are some, you know, I like pizza that it's they're like there's Stretch Pizza down in Gastown. They've done a pretty cool job. I like kind of boutique pizza, you know.
Yeah, you like fancy restaurant sit down kind of pizza.
I mean, I love fresh slice and you know, pizza's good. You know, it's really hard to make bad pizza. You know, if you make
Unless
a vegetarian,
yeah,
if you make a good vegetarian pizza, because I'm vegetarian, I eat some seafood, but I mostly just eat the veggies. It's pretty hard to screw that up, right? You put a bunch of fresh vegetables and a tomato sauce and cheese. Yeah. But I like it when, like, I love, there's the place that I found on Hastings Street in East Vancouver. I forget the name of it, but it's like this authentic from Tuscany type of pizza joint.
Yeah, it's in the Hastings Sunrise area, right?
Yeah, it's really good. So I don't have a joint that I love, but I'll tell you, my daughter loves cheese pizza. My daughter eats, like a lot of kids,
I think a lot of little kids,
bread.
They just want the cheese pizza. Yeah.
And so she loves when we go to like Fresh Slice, and it's a very cheap date for me. Okay, $2 for your slice of pizza. Okay.
Well, I live on Commercial Drive.
Yeah.
And Commercial Drive has about 20 pizza by the slice places within about a half a mile radius.
Oh yeah.
So, and they're all pretty good. The best one I think is Mediterranean Fire Pizza.
That is an excellent one.
It
yes.
has a big red awning. It's right next to one.
That's a fancy sit down one.
No, it's not. It's not. It's a pizza by the slice place.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they do all kinds of weird pizza, like eggplant pizza and like seafood pizza.
I'm thinking of the there's another Fire Pizza.
You're thinking of
firewood.
It's an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
That's very good.
Mediterranean fire pizza has like a red awning. It's really good.
Cool.
It's near the Starbucks.
Awesome.
So yeah. Bread makes you fat.
Emilio Lopez. Wow, super long loading times for a 2D scrolling experience like this.
Will there ever be a classic Electric Playground DVD set? Yeah, DVD's not a thing anymore, so probably not.
Well, we never did it because of the amount of time it would take to go off and do that correctly. And it's just like a whole new business that I don't really know how to do, you know? And I don't want to get stuck with making a bunch of sets that don't sell, or being in a position where we've made a certain amount and there are more people than we anticipate want the thing. And then you're dealing with an inventory and trying to, you know, ship stuff. And I mean, I love the idea of it, but it sounds more complicated than we can kind of figure out.
I mean, it's all on YouTube now anyway, right? I mean,
well, I would like to be able to say, look, here's a behind the scenes stuff, and you know, here's some extra content or commentary and stuff like that. I would like to make a special thing like that, but it would require investment and I think a tremendous amount of time. And that's really kind of the position that we're in right now. It's like we can focus on building new stuff, which is what we're doing. With our regular interviews and reviews and stuff like that. Or we could focus on trying to find a whole bunch of new distribution for us. Or we could focus on trying to post all of our old material, or find a way to package our old material so that people could buy it or whatever. And our choice, and it's really my choice, is to try to continue making new things. I wake up every day excited about what's coming up next, and you know, the reason why we were a little bit late starting today, or a little later starting today, is because I went and saw a movie that I'm going to be raving about very soon this morning at a critic screening, and that's extremely exciting for me. And I think that most of you guys watch our content because you want to see the future, you know, or you want to see stuff that's around sort of present topics and games and movies. Are they worth your time right now, or comics or whatever? And so it becomes a real sort of priority. If I said, look, we're going to package all of our old content and that's what we're going to focus on, it would take a tremendous amount of time and resource. I am always, you know, putting out feelers to see if there's some corporate partners that would want to participate in stuff like that, whether it's helping us with, you know, sponsoring the digitization and the sort of curation of all of that archive, which would be great, or sponsoring the new content that we're making, or thinking of you know, finding new homes for us or whatever. I do that when I can, but again, all of that business development stuff makes it way more difficult for me to just sort of sit here and do the content, or go outside in the pouring rain and find a covered place and shoot a review for you guys. And that's what I love to do the most, you know, and I think that's why you're watching.
Yeah, if you really want a DVD, you can just download the episodes from YouTube and burn them onto a DVD.
Okay.
If you want to do that, go for it. It's really easy, guys. It'll take like 5 minutes.
I'd prefer they didn't, though.
Yeah.
I'd prefer they didn't. What I prefer you do, if you are a fan of our stuff, is tell as many people as you know to watch some of our old classic stuff.
That's a good point.
That would be great.
Blade Blur just posted the link to the Kickstarter.
Oh, you rock, Blade Blur.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Commercial Drive's where all the hipsters hang out. Yeah, well, yeah, that's why I live there.
Yeah. The Captain Hipster right here.
I only act like a hipster, ironically. So, Vic, who made this game?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I played it once when I bought it. I just wanted to check it out for a few minutes, and I'm playing it again now. And this is the longest that I've played the game, so I don't really know too much about this thing other than it's been on my Switch, and I heard it was fun, and I wanted to go and check it out. It's kind of like a God of War type of experience fused with Golden Axe, which
I like how
is money.
Kind of looks like Braveheart with the blue paint.
Yeah.
I had a question or comment about a news story earlier today.
Oh, yeah?
That I wanted to mention.
Sure.
We talked about in the news about how Ubisoft is, you know, they've they beat Vivendi.
Yeah.
And we mentioned how one of the big investors that came in to save them was Tencent.
Yeah.
In their press release that I was reading as I was writing that story right before we went to air, because it broke like literally right before we went to air.
Yeah.
One of the other investors that they mentioned in their press release is the Ontario Teachers Union.
That's right. Yeah.
So all you people in Toronto and other parts of Ontario, if you're in high school or if you're in a public school,
yeah.
your teacher now partially owns Ubisoft.
Well, they invested. It was part of the huge sort of business development that they have with their Toronto studio out there, because they employ hundreds of people at that studio. And obviously, Ubisoft has had tremendous success in Quebec, and Ontario was doing, through various investment opportunities, doing what it could to attract Ubisoft to their province as well. But it's just great news, man. Like, they're doing what they want to do. They are making the games that they want to make, and they've been carving a very unique path for themselves as a company. And I'm just really happy for them. And also all the employees that we know, everybody that's in development and PR and marketing and all that stuff. Like we know lots and lots of people from UB, lots of fantastic people, and I'm happy for them, because it has been nerve-wracking for some of them, because they didn't know if that ever went through, if they would have the job still, you know?
It felt like every time we went to a Ubisoft event over the last year or two, it was like everyone was kind of like wondering, is this going to be the last one? Is this going to be the last one? So,
not that they would just close up the shop, but there would be some changes. There would
be a huge change in the culture at the company if they did, I think.
Okay.
Okay, bye everyone.
Primarily. Oh wait, I got one more question, then I'll end it as I do some hacking and slashing here. I know you're primarily a console and handheld gamer, but do you think you'll get back into PC gaming for the exclusives there? Absolutely. The plan is to hook up a PC very soon, and it will live here. I don't know if you guys noticed this. We have a bunch of classic consoles sitting beside me. Definitely want to be doing a little bit more plugging and playing with different things. Primarily focused on the new, but yes, I want to talk about PC stuff. I want to get that VR headset on. You will absolutely see me doing an EP live with the VR headset on, which is going to completely destroy my hair, but I'm going to do it for you people. But that wraps us up for today's episode of EP Live. Thank you so much for joining us. We are taking a break from EP Live for a couple of days. It's spring break, so I'm going to be doing some dad stuff, but the rundown will be back tomorrow, and some more content as well. But EP Live will return very, very soon. I'll keep you posted on all that. But thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this as a live show, you rock for being here and helping us to make a better show because of your contributions and your comments and your questions. If you're watching this in an archive state, thank you so much for finding us. And if you like what you see, there's tons of other content for you to check out, so please do. And if you dig it, hit subscribe, that little bell, and if you're so inclined, that sponsorship button too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.